Okay, this is also a spruce from Romania, I think, huh?
Yes.
And it was already styled, so just a refinement. I would make a Shari here because, yeah, it's a little bit inverse taper here to make this thinner, and the rest is already there. Just make it nicer.
Okay, so you're saying that the basic design is already there. Yes, this is not first styling. This is second styling. So you more or less take what was done already and you only improve that.
Exactly.
Okay,
maybe there are too many of
so there's too many of these which are very nice, but you don't want like almost 100 of those. You have to take something off or make some a bit shorter. And here, of course, that's a very strange area where you can do wonders by doing some Shari in there to make this look thinner. Why would I want this to look thinner? Because this here and here has the same thickness. So this has no taper. Okay, so some people would say, well, let it grow for another 50 years and then it will have taper. That's true, but 50 years is a long time for me at least. So anyway, can we not do something? Yeah, some people would take some power tool and cut off half of this and make it thinner. That's possible. But a very nice and easy method is to put in some strong Shari line, a vertical Shari line, and all of a sudden, it's an optical illusion. This looks thinner. Okay, and that's exactly what we do. And we make sure that the Shari line looks credible, natural, like you're not questioning that nature did that. So that the art is to do it in such a way that everybody understands that obviously nature did that. Very difficult. So many people make some Shari and you can forever see, oh, somebody tried to make a good Shari. The rest you thin out very much and clean out. Don't make a thick, full crown because that will make this trunk look thin. If you make a very thin crown, then the trunk will look thick and old. Okay? Good luck.
Walter, when you have that very elongated, the one side of the tree, that one very dramatic first branch, where do you think of always the crown going? Do you think of the crown going like it's looking over kind of that first branch?
Good question.
Do you do the crown
Okay.
the opposite way?
Okay.
What are you thinking of?
If this tree does this,
Yes.
you have three options. Number one is to balance him like in the middle, he stands like that. Or you could do like this, really balance it to the other side so that it does like that, or it does this, okay? And I personally, but that's only my taste, you can do the opposite, is to not do the first one. I don't try to balance it so that it's just balanced because that's boring. I want some movement, I want some dynamic. Okay, and I would always prefer to say, if the main branch goes to this direction, then the head also goes this direction. This tree has to decide to fly out. So this will be a one-sided tree, which even we enhance the direction, so we make it dramatic. That means it cannot stand in this pot at the moment. It can stand, but it will not look very good. It will look good, like it's almost falling out of that pot. So the solution is, well, you know what Walter would say, put it on the long slab, which is very long on this side, like here, and maybe there's something, little stone or some plant looking up at this here. So then the tree stands over this, and you somehow you feel that he stands strongly. That sort of would be my decision, but you can do anything. This is why it's art. Thomas, Can you tell us what you did and why you did it, and what's the future of this tree?
I refined the tree. It was already a bonsai, and there was this big problem that the trunk was a bit thicker here as the bottom. So I made a Shari to solve this problem. I tilted to this side the whole movement, and yeah, it looks like a very old spruce now.
Yes, it's supposed to look like a very old spruce. So it was not so easy because the tree had many good sides. The good side is very old, and you see this a lot of old branches here, a lot of branches here, but maybe too many branches. And then compared to the height and the overall size of that crown, the trunk is a little slim, right? So normally what you do is you make a much smaller crown, then the relative to the crown, the trunk looks bigger, and that often is a better picture, the better bonsai, okay? So he didn't do that because if you cut this off here, for example, it would happen that the trunk looks bigger, but then the tree gets sort of boring. Okay, so this is a very important branch here. However, it adds a lot to the optical weight. So what do? We will live with it. We put this on a long slab. Would be fine. So you just give this 3 or 4 years. This will age, and you will not be visible that you have done this. And this will somehow fill in a bit, and then you take the wire off. You have a nice tree, but you don't have a very good tree. So, what can you see in 5 years?
Well, in 5 years we could chin this branch, and it looks much older. Maybe a few more to thin it out again. And
did I understand? You could gin it in 5 years, and
yes.
It looks sort of well. Why don't you gin it now?
Because it will look what you said before. Then you take it off, and first of all, it will not stay like it is. And
okay, so when we say gin, there's several ways of doing that. You could cut here and have a gin like this. Most people in the old days, that means up to 5 years ago, would have done that. Okay. Now, but if you do this modern sort of gin like here, have this long skeleton of the next branch. If you do that now, the thing will move. It will not stay like that. So it has first to have been in this position for at least 5 years, and if you gin it then the gin will also stay. This is one reason why we do it. The next reason is the tree would rather have us to do nothing, right? He prefers to have this branch, to live with it. So it's better for the tree at the time being to keep him happy, to leave this branch. But it should be interesting that we in the masterclass, we do a tree second or third styling, and then we tell you, no, this is not the end. The end will come in 5 years. Why don't we do it now? Well, this is bonsai. Bonsai is for the next generation, basically, especially for me. I design trees which I know will be good in 20 years. And 20 years I'll be over 100. Well, okay, good luck. So anyway, this is the future, and maybe then even you thin out up there. We don't thin out anymore just by cutting, but we also gin this. So this will be a very dramatic looking old tree, I can see already, but it's going to take a long time. In the meanwhile, we just leave it alone in the garden, and that's it. Okay, so thank you very much for doing this.
thank you.